This graphic seismograph shows the exact moment at 11 o'clock on the 11th of November 1918, when the guns on the Western Front fell silent. After 4.5 years of fighting, the Great War was over. Hours earlier, just after 5 a.m. that morning, Germany had signed an armistice in a railway carriage north of Paris. The Allies had won. From the trenches of the Ypres salient to London, Paris, and across Europe, celebrations broke out. It was a time of relief, albeit surely bittersweet. Communities, villages and families had been destroyed. Names of key battles, Passchendaele, Jutland, the Somme, would enter the national psyche for evermore.
I don't think any of us expected it to resonate quite how it has resonated with the British population. And of course the reason it's resonated is because of the personal connections and the personal stories. And people have been able to identify with what their great-great-grandfather or their great-great-uncle experienced. And that's actually, I think, been the case with the British soldiers and indeed all our servicemen and women as well, who felt it like that.
The Queen will lead the country in a special moment of remembrance at the Cenotaph in London. She'll be joined on Whitehall by the German President. In 1918, enemies. In 2018, strong NATO allies. As was the case last year, though, Prince Charles will lay a wreath on his mother's behalf. The Duke of Edinburgh is not expected to attend. Veterans will march from Trafalgar Square to the Cenotaph as they do every Remembrance Sunday, but this year they will be joined by 10,000 descendants of soldiers who fought in the Great War. Lucy Cubitt will be one of them. Her grandfather and 2 great-uncles fought. Only her grandfather survived. It left an indelible mark on the family.
So when you suddenly, within sort of 2 years, lose 2 of them, I mean, that's shattering for any family, isn't it?
The centenary of World War I prompted Lucy to put together books for her 3 relatives. Letters, regimental documents, photos, an enduring record of their service and sacrifice.
There's also stories of great bravery that have been handed on from generation to generation. All sorts of families around the world who've been part of some of these conflicts and have given the children something to look up to.
The centenary of World War I has focused the continent on the events of a century ago. 16 million people on all sides lost their lives. 100 years on, that hasn't been forgotten. Alistair Bunkall, Sky News.